Have you ever had a vision, a dream, or an awakening so sacred, and when you shared it, someone laughed, dismissed it, or trampled on it? In that moment, your pearl lost its shine. This is why the ancients warned, do not cast your pearls before swine. Not because the pearl is not beautiful, but because not every heart can see the sacred. Hey, welcome back to the channel. And just as we need to protect the family jewels, so do we need to protect our spiritual wisdom, our spiritual gems and pearls. And one might say, well, Trevor, you sharing all your sacred spiritual experiences on YouTube. Well, who said I'm sharing everything? And let's take a look why we shouldn't share these and when the right time is to share our sacred experiences. And first, let's turn back into history and see what the ancients had to say about sharing spiritual truth. And when is it right that we can share this? So in the beginning, we know we should keep these things to ourselves. So let's have a look. Jesus himself said, do not throw what is holy before the dogs. And later on he went and said, do not cast your pearls before swine. And the teaching is really straightforward. And the Hermetic masters also declared that the lips of wisdom are sealed, unless it's to ears of understanding. And then we only need to look back at ancient Egypt, when the initiates and candidates were sworn to secrecy. So why was this that they had to keep this ancient wisdom secret? One would think, surely you would spread the light and spread this knowledge. Well, firstly, when religion started to take over, they wanted their narrative to be the only narrative. And this is why they stamped out the truth. And many of the mystery schools in ancient wisdom had to go underground, had to hide, so that the church couldn't suppress this ancient wisdom. So then we look back at the ancient Maya, who had absolutely no restrictions on sharing spiritual truth. Their lives revolved around their spirituality, around their temples. The whole purpose was to break through the matrix, to travel time and space, to communicate or channel the ancients, their spirit guides or extraterrestrials. So they shared this knowledge, they documented it, they encouraged one to share it. Their whole philosophy, their whole way of life was very different to the corrupt Western system or mass religion. They really focused on the truth of the ancients. And then Black Elk, Oglala Lakota holy man, shared his sacred experiences with the tribes so that knowledge would be preserved for future generations. So here we're seeing from not sharing, and now we are starting to share. And then we also think of Paramahansa Yogananda, the great master, the Swami who brought yoga and meditation to the West. And had it not been his contract, his destiny to bring this wisdom to the West, it would have taken much longer for this knowledge to saturate through the world. This is why the ancients have their contracts, and this is why they keep to their time. Certain things need to fall into place. And we could go on thinking of Dr. Erlene Chaney, who brought ancient wisdom in lesson form to students around the world. We also think of H.P. Blavatsky, who also, ahead of her time, was guided through the masters to bring this ancient wisdom to the masses. And let's not forget Alice A. Bailey, the real master's works and teachings. And if you haven't seen these, go have a look at it, because this is where the crux of all the master's teachings lie. It's what they call the occult teachings. In other words, what that means is the hidden teachings. So what do we really do? Because we see that there are people that are sharing and writing about their personal spiritual experiences, yet we are told not to share our spiritual experiences. Especially when you start on the spiritual path and you start to record your dreams and your visions and your spiritual insights and intuitions. It's really good to have a spiritual diary where you can record all of these and document them. To go share them with your friends or people that you don't know, you're going to be wasting your time, because to them it's not sacred, as we know. They haven't experienced this, they weren't given this gift, they didn't earn it. So do not share these experiences with them until you get to a point where you have a spiritual foundation, where you're standing on a proper foundation spiritually, or where it comes your time that you are channeling this information from the higher world to either teach, lecture, write a book, or to bring this knowledge into the world, and where you are strong enough that you can defend yourself and protect yourself. So you can share these spiritual experiences with a close friend, provided that that friend is also on the spiritual path. Otherwise, it's going to be meaningless for them. And if you do share something, surely the person you share this wisdom with should also share something before you spit out more information. So keep your counsel, keep what is sacred hidden in your sacred spiritual diary or journal, and don't give this information out till you are expected to share it. Guard your sacred visions. Let silence strengthen them. But when Spirit calls you to speak, speak. For the world has always needed both, the protectors of wisdom and the sharers of light. Without the guardians, wisdom would wither. Without the light bearers, the world would remain blind. Anyway, I thought I would just share this little bit of insights for those that may need it. And if you enjoy spiritual videos and these topics, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.